Okay, welcome back everybody. It's always a joy to break down a song by the great Billy Gibbons on guitar and ZZ Top. So this is I'm Bad, I'm Nationwide by ZZ Top off their Duguello album in 1979, I believe. And super great piece of guitar work on here, as always, just goes without saying, right? So gonna break down the great, there's basically two guitars going on here. There's a rhythm guitar and a lead guitar. And we'll break them down separately, all those different parts on there, and take it through it step by step. And if this is the kind of thing that you like and you haven't done so yet already, I invite you to jump down right now and click subscribe and ring the bell. The bell is gonna let you know when I drop new content, which I do every single week. All my videos have chapters in them, so you can jump right to the part of the lesson that you want to see and bypass what you don't. And if you're looking for other ways to support the channel, I appreciate that. There's thanks, just like throwing a tip in the tip jar. Or even better, you can join my Patreon page where I've got chord charts and tabs for all the lessons that I do on YouTube, just like this one. Links in the description, so check it out. All right, so I'm Bad, I'm Nationwide. Lot of Pearly Gates Les Paul on this song. There's a little bit of overdubbed I think neck pickup broadcaster that happens at the end. We're not gonna spend time on that one though. We're gonna just embrace the Les Paul goodness on this and really dive into what Billy's doing. Okay, so let's get into it. What I've noticed on this is primarily, I think most of the tones are on a sort of bridge pickup position on a Les Paul. But I noticed that, and I notice this a lot live, like Billy plays with his volume and his tone a lot. And on this song is no different, especially when we get to the solo. He's got the tone rolled down quite a bit on part of it at least. So it's interesting. He's sort of playing with that. So anyway, so the song is in standard tuning, and it's basically it's sort of a C blues, but you're really only going C to F. There's no 5-chord in this. Really. So anyway, so what you want to dial up in terms of tone is whatever you got that's going to sound like a tweed, an old tweed Fender Deluxe that's about to blow up. like the tubes are literally going to explode is sort of what it sounds like. I don't know what he used exactly, but so whatever configuration you got of pedals and amps to be able to do that. I'll put my signal chain in the description below of what I'm using. So my sort of rhythm guitar tone is sounding like this. So that's the ballpark that I'm in, but I'm riding the bridge pickup for a lot of this song. Okay, so let's get into it. So the very beginning riff, right? We're going to start with the rhythm guitar. I'll do all the rhythm guitar parts first, and then we'll come back and we'll do all the lead guitar parts from front to back, okay? So the intro riff, right? So the intro riff, when the lead part is, we're going to do that later. But what the rhythm guitar is doing on here, it's right on, it's a bar chord, C, and you're going to be doing sort of a C blues kind of thing, and but the intro part, he's just starting with a C chord down to B flat, right? And actually I made a mistake. He's actually not doing not yet. He's not doing that yet. He starts that when he gets into the actual singing part of the verse. So that little intro, sort of an upstroke groove, right? There's a lot of that in this song, right? So it's just a C, B flat, chromatic, and up back to your C. And then the rhythm guitar breaks in with this. Right, and that's a familiar thing in the blues rock world, which many of you are probably well versed in already. But you're making a part of a C seventh chord, like, right? But you're just playing it on the third and the second. All right, and then we're going to go into our jug chords again. Notice on those parts, those breakdowns, and it happens a couple times during the song, the beat, it's not on the beat. It's like everything drops out and it's just dragging, and it's all by feel. I'm sure they're all in the studio looking at each other, like, you know, getting on the beat together, but so again, more of that upstroke. And then you get into your proper singing verse, and here's where he does get into the you know, traditional guitar rock. And he sort of does that. He does this, and then he picks it all up, and you get that F note on your A string. That kind of feel. To your F. And then this last one, right before you go into the, well, it's going to go into the chorus actually. He sneaks in this very subtle, but it's very cool. It's like a, it's a little hook that takes you into the chorus in terms of the rhythm guitar. He does this little whoop. Sounds very Stones, right? So that last section of the verse. And it goes into your chorus, that little. Love that little part, right? Third and fourth string on 8, down to 7, and then 10th fret, 5th and 4th. And sometimes he only hits that song. But that's what he's going for. And you go to your chorus. Your chorus is again just F, and then back to C, and again, right? But the strumming pattern is right? So did you catch those little subtleties, right? When he's going to the F, he's, 'cause I'm bad. He hits that little. Back to this. Rinse and repeat, right? So that's the verse. That's the verse formations in terms of the rhythm guitar. We'll go over the lead, those tasty lead parts that are happening there in a little bit. So yeah, so it's just running through the verse, runs through another verse again. Coming out of that second verse, it goes into a guitar solo, and as always, Billy has these super tasty, you know, rhythm guitar parts that's layered behind his screaming awesome leads. And as awesome all those leads are, and this one is too, these little rhythm parts are so cool, and they leave room, you know, for the leads and everything. Anyway, so what's happening on this is there's a couple different rhythm patterns that he does. So he starts off doing 3 measures of one little riff, and then he changes the riff, and he does 8 measures of that, and then you're going to go back into the sort of intro. Right, that's how you're going to close out that solo. But okay, so let's talk about sort of formation number 1 during the solo, what he's doing. Again, he's going to do this for 3 measures. When he's riding the C, he's just going to do this kind of a groove. Then he's going to come up here and do a little part of an F chord. So that's a little hammer on. And he picks those last two right there, right? So again. One more. Now he's going to change it up. And what he changes it up to is sort of a same groove, right? So you're sort of hitting that palm mute to get that sort of low end of the C, and you're doing this of a C chord. It's sort of like doing that, but you're really only hitting you're emphasizing the G, the third string. And you do that little part at the end. He does that 8 times. I don't know how many times I'm on right now, but he runs that through 8 times. Ends it with the same little F lick. And then you're going to come back out into your intro. Then back into your verse. Your little licks going on. Verse. And it runs into the outro. And the outro goes totally different places, right? And you've got dueling lead guitars that are happening there. But there's a cool, rhythm that's happening. And in terms of guitar, rhythm guitar, it's very understated. He's sort of writing the sort of single note on the root note of the chord, of the groove. There's a piano, there's like a Rhodes piano or something overdub that's doing it on a C minor 7. Guitar's not doing that, but the piano's sort of doing that. The guitar is doing more of that kind of thing. And then it doubles the bass. So here's that fun little speed groove that happens with the bass on that. I'll do it slowly. It's just a chromatic thing. Just sort of repeats that all the way through. And like I said, that's greatness, right? And then there's there's Les Paul trading a lick with what I think is his broadcaster on a neck pickup. I'm not going to break all those down. That's all sort of C minor pentatonic jamming that's going on that. But let's talk about all the other great lead guitar that's happening on this song. Let's go all the way back to the beginning and talk about those intro lead licks. Okay, so I'm staying on my Les Paul. I'm here on my bridge pickup again. I'm gonna bring my volume up, and I'm gonna, my tone's at about 5 right now, or maybe a little more, maybe 5 or 6. It's got a good amount of treble on it, right? All right, so we learned what that intro part was for the rhythm guitar, right? That was the... Right, so that lead that's happening over this part is C minor pentatonic, straight up. Thing you're bending up into a unison, and you're pulling it down. So that's the lick, right? Do it slowly here. And it catches a little. Yeah, so, you know, the first time I heard that unison, very cool. The second time, I don't think he does the unison. The second time, I think it's a pre-bend, but it's clearly just hitting that B string. That's how it ends. Rhythm guitar picks up. That's actually not the lead guitar that's playing that, right? That's the rhythm guitar that's playing that, which then leaves room for Billy to come in and do his love that, right? And that's just straight in the pentatonic box right here. And then this is up here on whatever that is, 12, which makes that 15, which makes that 17, 18 and 20. 18 on your B string and 20 on your B string. And then 20 pulled off to 18 on your first string. Think of it as, here's your C chord, right? If you finish that lick down here, that's all that's happening. You're just doing it up here. It's another way you could play it here, but sounds great up top. Whatever Billy did was the right way to play it, right? So that's that riff. And the next cool little lead guitar thing that happens, I swear, I like it sounding a little more, I don't know, middle pickup or both pickup kind of thing for the next part here, and it's during the chorus. And it actually took me a long time to figure out what he was doing there. It sounds super easy, right? It sounds like, oh, it's the Keith Richards thing, and you know, so you're up here on in your C position, go to your F. Right? Like, of course it's that. And then you're ending up with an F chord. So what happened there? I thought it was that. It's really not, because you're also hearing this note. Right? So then I was sort of trying to figure that out. That's really hard to do. Whoops. You know what I mean? So then I thought, well, maybe it's just the two notes. Sort of sounds like it. Still not right. And then, I don't know why, it was probably so obvious to all of you, but all it is you do the exact same thing. You're just down here on where you make your bar chord for your C, and you're turning it into an F down here. Again, it's all the Keith Richards thing. And then you do the same thing again. Open. There you go. And what do you do to finish that off? You add some slack back echo. Yeah, so that's that riff. I was super happy to figure that out. Okay, which brings us to the lead. All right, so the lead, The lead guitar he plays on this, like I said, it's so great. Like everything the guy plays is like exactly what needs to be played. Nothing else. Right. Even when he's doing it live, it's just all so tasty, right? So on this, I've noticed though, there's a part of the solo where his tone knob is pretty far down there. So we're going to play with the tone knob a little bit, but that part there, right? So I'm going to turn it up a little bit. So I'm going to break down each section of the solo phrase by phrase. If you want, you can go to just use the chapters if you want to jump to right where I'm playing the whole thing through, and you just want to watch, that's fine too. But I'm going to start off by just doing each one of these section by section, okay? So we're going to start off right in our pentatonic box here on C. And I've got my tone, I've got my volume up. I've got my tone not all the way up. It's sort of around 6. And I'm going to play with fingers. I don't know, he probably played with a pick and hybrid with fingers for some of this, but actually I'm rolling my volume down a little bit for this part. But yeah, I play with my fingers. You'll see me sort of swap the pick in and out. But the first little phrase is... Love that. Man, that's so cool, right? It's just that little C octave. You could also do it here. So everything's up here. But I think it just depends on what tone of the string that you want. I think he's doing it down here. Live, he does it down here. And at the end of it, at the end of this whole section, the next riff is down here. So I wonder, that probably makes sense to be down there. Anyway, so he does this 3 times. Right, so the second half of that is... It's just that box down here on F. Again, the whole song is C to F. That's all that is. So you do that whole sequence 3 times. Do that whole thing 3 times. Okay? After the 3rd time, he comes out of it doing this riff here, and this is why I think he comes down, he's playing this C down here, because he comes to this. So this is just the C minor pentatonic shape here. Get your false harmonic. And then here's where it's like really, like he rolls that tone, or the tone seems to change. He's very quick if he does it on the fly, because I don't think it was already turned all the way down. But the next part is this little run that he did. Love it. So slow. And then he plays around down here on the low register of that C. You kind of get that, you dig into the string, so you get that harmonic thing. Roll your tone back up, and then he's going to finish the whole thing up here in your C box again. And right at that point is where the rhythm guitar is doing. Right, that's what's happening over the F. Then it just closes it out with 2 of these. Right. So sort of doesn't make sense when you think about it piece by piece, but if you needed to know what was happening on each part of that, there you go. Now let me try and play this all the way through. It'll be sort of almost at speed. All right, not fully, but. I'm gonna switch. There you go. Back to your intro look again. Woo! Love me some Billy. All right, hope I did that justice. That was I'm Bad, I'm Nationwide, and hope you learned something new today. So if you like this and you haven't done so yet, please jump down and click subscribe and ring the bell. The bell will let you know when I drop new content. I do that every single week. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this. And if there's another lesson you want me to take on and do something similar, let me know what that is too. But until next week, take care, everybody.